Live from Tampa Bay streaming news leader, this is ABC Action News, taking action for you.
Right now at 5 tonight, dazed by the bell, the new state law that forces Florida schools to start later. Tonight, parents are sounding off to us and why teachers are praising the move.
Plus, the ATV chase that had everyone talking. The man leading authorities on a cross-county chase, weaving through traffic and going the wrong way on the interstate.
Well, we do lead off here tonight with those new statewide changes coming to middle and high schools, later school start times, and parents in one school district tonight telling us they've got a lot to say about it. Good evening, everyone. Welcome here to ABC Action News at 5. I'm Paul LeGros.
And I'm Lauren St. Germain. Thanks for joining us. New state laws will require middle and high schools to start later in the day by fall of 2026. Our Polk County reporter Rebecca Petit found out parents think the change will cost them.
New video here tonight from inside the Carnival Freedom boat after this lightning strike sparked this fire this weekend. Right now, the boat is heading to a shipyard for repairs. Now, no one was hurt, but passengers were told to avoid certain areas of that ship. This is actually the second time in 2 years that a fire broke out on board this particular vessel. In 2022, flames erupted from the exhaust funnel while docked in Grand Turk. The cruise line has canceled the ship's next 2 cruises and offered those customers a full refund. Tonight at 5:30, we're going to be talking with passengers on board this cruise who tell us Carnival did not offer them anything. Also tonight, Governor Ron DeSantis signing the state's social media ban for kids under 16 into law today. Several other states have tried social media for kids before, but they're getting hung up in the courts. The difference with the Florida version, this law targets platforms with so-called addictive features, including infinite scroll. Coming up all new at 5:30, our Forrest Saunders joining us live from Tallahassee to talk about why supporters believe this version of the law will actually stick.
Guys, got to see this chase in South Florida. That's not a car, it's an ATV. A man riding an ATV led officers from Miami-Dade County into Broward County, weaving in and out of traffic. At one point, he was going the wrong way on the interstate. Tonight, we don't know the identity of the rider or why he was driving away, but we did watch the rider finally stop on a road in Fort Lauderdale, and authorities took him into custody. Honestly, it's just amazing that no one was hurt because the way he was weaving in and out of traffic, Dennis, whew.
Yeah.
We were watching it on the big board, and man, oh man, we were getting real nervous. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, watching that live is probably a little bit different than, watching after the fact. So today across our nearly 30 miles an hour, and with that wind out there, temperatures were still very warm. We had higher humidity, the air coming in out of the southeast, so warmer temperatures as well. There you have it, winds up to nearly 30 miles an hour last check, and continues tonight, breezy conditions. Same thing tomorrow morning. I think the winds start to come down in the afternoon. We're looking good tomorrow. We're looking good Wednesday, Thursday, opening day for the Rays. We got some rain coming in. There's going to be a cold front, showers, and potentially even a couple of thunderstorms, but I don't see it being an issue tomorrow. I do see Wednesday afternoon, maybe a few showers out ahead of that front beginning to pop up as we see temperatures in the mid-80s. So tracking the rain out ahead of the front, tracking more changes for Easter weekend. And we'll talk more about that coming up in a couple of minutes.
All right, Dennis, see you soon. We move next here tonight to the new developments in the war in Gaza. Today, the United Nations Security Council passing a new Gaza ceasefire resolution. That resolution demands an immediate ceasefire. It also demands the release of all hostages unconditionally and all barriers standing in the way of humanitarian aid. Now, the U.S. abstained from this vote at the UN today. That led Israel to cancel a scheduled trip by 2 top advisors to Washington.
Former President Trump is set to go on trial next month, the first and perhaps only trial to get underway before the presidential election.
National political correspondent Alex Miller tonight with the very latest. Meanwhile, this year's presidential election is one that many Americans are dreading. People in both parties not happy with either candidate, according to the latest polls, which has led to a rising interest in a third-party candidate. Now, it's still quite the long shot, to say the least. But this week, independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is expected to announce his running mate. A recent poll from Emerson College shows that in the state of Michigan, Kennedy has 5% of the vote, which could impact the general election. But the challenge of any independent candidate is actually getting on the ballot. Kennedy's website provides a ballot access update. The dark purple spots that you see there on the map are the only states where they've been successful so far.
Boeing announced major changes to its leadership today. The company's CEO, Dave Calhoun, says he plans to step down by the end of the year. The company's chair and the head of the commercial airplane unit are also leaving. Boeing has been hit in recent years over problems with its airplanes, including 2 deadly crashes of the 737 MAX in 2018 and 2019 that killed hundreds of people. And most recently, the door plug blew out of the side of an Alaskan Airlines 737 MAX in January, leaving a hole in the side of the plane.
Okay, it's still spring break, which means a lot of folks are visiting our local beaches, and tonight starts a new campaign to make sure that people are aware of their surroundings on the beach.
Our Pinellas County reporter Casey Albritton met up with Treasure Island Adopt-A-Beach to learn what you should keep in mind this summer.
USF rolling out its plan to make a dent in the housing waiting list. We've got details on when those new dorms will be ready next.
ABC Action News Plus. It's local news you know and trust. Available anywhere at any time for free. ABC Action News Plus. Taking action for you.
We're back with new surveillance video obtained by ABC News. It shows a man accused of sneaking onto a Delta flight without a ticket. The FBI says the man you see in the green sweater there sitting down appears to take a picture of a fellow passenger's boarding pass, then boarded the plane. Court documents say the man then waited in the airplane bathroom until the plane started taxiing. He told the flight attendant his name and a seat number, but it wasn't in the system. The plane then returned to the gate and that man was arrested.
This guy would have succeeded if we hadn't been in the middle of spring break where almost every airplane seat is sold out. If he'd walked in the back and he'd seen an open seat, he could have just gone and sat down and nobody would have been the wiser.
In a statement, Delta says it is cooperating with law enforcement. The man told police he made a mistake and he just wanted to get home.
Well, USF is now sharing its plans for more on-campus housing. Hundreds of students are on that waiting list for housing next fall, and the university is planning to tear down 3 dorms at the Argos complex to make room for more campus housing.
It will increase the capacity and the density of this particular space by double, so it would add about 1,000 beds to campus.
Well, the Board of Trustees did approve this 5-year project. Construction is supposed to start next year in 2025, should be done by 2029.
Tonight, we're giving you an inside look at something most people don't even know exist: homeless camps. We're going alongside a Pasco County pastor as he visits them and offers support.
ABC Action News reporter Eric Waxler meeting one woman who never expected to be where she is, living on the streets.
Let's check back in with Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips as we take a live look outside Mainsail Beach in Anna Maria Island. Looking spectacular. Today was great weather.
It was, yeah, really warm, nice. Humidity creeping up a little bit, partly cloudy skies. So for the folks who are visiting this week for spring break, I think you're looking good. The only issue will be on Thursday, maybe even a few afternoon showers on Wednesday as well. Right now it's quiet, it's warm, it's windy. Temperatures low to mid 80s. Venice at 86, Sarasota 82, Bradenton 84, Plant City 80, Newport Richey 81, upper 70s along the coast in Pinellas. Same thing Crystal River, and even inland areas. Usually you'd think the inland spots are hotter than the coast, but now when you have such a strong wind, you got a wind coming in out of the southeast. It has a tendency to keep that sea breeze just offshore, so it allows things to warm up all the way back toward the coast as well. And those winds continue right now, gusting to nearly 30 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy at the airport right now. East winds at 14, gusting to 23. The dew point also increasing. Yeah, you get a wind coming in out of the east or the south. That's going to increase our humidity level, so you probably noticed it today. It's still a really nice day. Tomorrow is going to be a nice day, too. A lot like today, for that matter. We hit mid-80s. We have higher humidity, and the breeze continues, although I think it does start to come down a little bit in the afternoon. So tonight, skies remain partly cloudy. It will be dry if you're going outside. Beautiful weather, but really nice. And tomorrow morning, getting the kids ready for upper 50s to 60s, again, under mostly sunny skies. And then in the afternoon, a mixture of clouds and sun, just like we had today. You start to see some showers building in the Panhandle. That is a sign of things to come. We got a front coming in. Now, Wednesday morning, there will already be some showers and some thunderstorms in the Panhandle. And I'll tell you, there could be even a few severe storms out of that as well. The farther north you are, the better the chance. So I would not be shocked if the Panhandle under a tornado watch some point in time on Wednesday or Wednesday night. And then what happens is the leading edge of that rain actually kind of puts and it kind of makes it into our region by late afternoon Wednesday or Wednesday night, but that's not the actual front. The front's still hanging up in the panhandle, and that kind of gives us sort of a round 2 by Thursday morning. So at some point in time, the front comes through between, say, 9 a.m. on Thursday and 3 p.m. on Thursday afternoon. And when it does, we'll see showers, we'll see thunderstorms, and then cooler, drier air arrives by Good Friday and right on into the Easter weekend. What's behind a cool front? Well, for the time being, some cooler air. Upper 70s, mid to upper 70s on Thursday and on Friday. So the Rays home opener is on Thursday. I do think there will be some rain out there for folks who are planning on heading over to the game. I believe it's a 4:10 first pitch, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So for tailgaters in the early afternoon, there might be some showers, but Easter weekend looks great. Sunny, low humidity, really pleasant weather, and a little bit cooler in the mornings as well. So there's the rain chance on Thursday. If we see anything on Wednesday, it'll probably be in the evening. For the boaters, tomorrow, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, choppy on the bay and inland waters. There's a small craft advisory. It's going to remain in effect through tomorrow morning. So not the greatest day to take the boat out tomorrow, at least early. The weather's going to be nice, but it's going to be a little rough out there. I do think the winds start to come down a little bit in the afternoon. Sunrise tomorrow, 7:27. Sunset at 7:45. There's your forecast tonight. Partly cloudy. It'll be mild, really pleasant. We wake up mostly in the low to middle 60s, some mid to upper 50s, though, in our northern counties. Nice day at the beach. It's just clouds at times, but still pretty nice with high temperatures up around 80 degrees. There's a 7-day. 85 on Tuesday. A couple of showers Wednesday evening. Best chance of rain will be Thursday. Those storms move through. We clear out for the Easter weekend nicely with sunny skies and highs up around 80 degrees. Action News at 5 continues after this.
ABC Action News is sponsored by Rubenstein Law.
At the end of this, I know that I'm going to be with my person.
Sponsored locally by Spectrum. One connection, total connectivity.
Welcome back. Well, a new Head Start school opened up today in Hillsborough County. They cut the ribbon right there. It's located in Town and Country on Webb Street, and the school is equipped with the very latest technology, including computers and smart boards. There are 2 Head Start classrooms and 2 early Head Start rooms. It can fit up to 40 preschoolers, 16 infants and toddlers.
This past weekend, we celebrated Tampa Pride in Ybor City. The Tampa Pride Diversity Parade was on Saturday, and it was the most perfect day for a parade. I was out there with our team hosting our coverage on our streaming news channel. Some of our team members were also walking in the parade and handing out beads. There were nearly 150 different groups, local leaders, school bands, and companies that walked in the parade. Some really creative floats and performances. Paul, I have to say, the Tampa Roller Derby was incredible.
I bet.
They were doing tricks that it was awesome.
And what a scene there. Great turnout, great weather, too.
I mean, they could have not asked for better weather. It was fabulous. All right, ABC Action News at 5:30 is coming up next. Paul, what are you working on?
All right, we're counting down to the summer, even though it's spring. Looking ahead to the need for more lifeguards in Tampa. The critical shortage is still there. We'll tell you what they're trying to do to get some more lifeguards at those pools, and the local passengers on board this Carnival cruise ship that caught fire over the weekend. Tonight, they're reaching out to us, claiming Carnival has not offered them anything. We're getting to the bottom of this next.
The Action News is sponsored by Rubenstein Law.
Right now at 5:30, the calls mounting tonight for that ceasefire in Gaza. The United Nations demanding a stop to the bombing, and tonight the fallout between Israel and the United States for how the U.S. voted. Fast and furious, the high-speed chase right down I-95 in Florida today. The man on a four-wheeler leading police on a cross-county pursuit, weaving in and out of traffic, and you'll see what happens next. Cruise ship fire.
Immediately, my thought is that, we need to kind of be, ready for the worst situation here. We're in the middle of the ocean.
Tonight, local passengers on board Carnival Freedom enduring what they call a cruise nightmare. What they revealed to us tonight, our questions to Carnival and how they're responding. Welcome everyone here to ABC Action News at 5:30. I'm Paul Legrone. Tonight we do have new developments on that social media ban for Florida teenagers, what it means and what it does not. But first, to the headlines we go here tonight and the fallout today between Israel and the United States. Israel has canceled a trip to the U.S. for two of its top advisors, and it comes after the United States today abstained from a vote at the UN. The Security Council at the United Nations passing a resolution demanding an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, as well as the release of all hostages and lifting all barriers to humanitarian aid. The CEO and chairman of Boeing today announcing they are going to step down. CEO Dave Calhoun says he will leave the company by the end of the year. Boeing is currently a company in crisis after several episodes of safety disasters, including those two deadly crashes of the 737 MAX jets, and then earlier this year, the door plug that blew off during an Alaska Airlines flight. A high-speed chase catching a lot of attention tonight after a man on an ATV led South Florida deputies on a cross-county pursuit right down I-95 in Miami-Dade and then Broward. The man seen weaving in and out of traffic, speeding right by cars, even driving the wrong way at one point on the interstate. He eventually pulled over and surrendered peacefully. We turn next here tonight to our cover story and the new developments today on that social media ban for teenagers in Florida. Today, Governor DeSantis signed that bill into law. And tonight, Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders standing by live in Tallahassee. Forrest, this law is different from laws in other states that are in legal limbo in the courts.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. They are having different provisions placed into this policy, but it's really important to remember that those other laws have gotten hung up in the courts. And so a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen next now that Florida's version, HB3, has been signed into law. Its supporters certainly think that it's going to pass constitutional muster. Now, one other provision that's going to be taking effect on January 1st has to do with us, 18-year-olds and those above that age. And what it would basically do is any adult website would have to do third-party age verification so you can get online, but those companies are required to delete the information they get once they receive it, sort of a way to try and prevent data collection on another front. Paul?
Forrest, bottom line here, will a teenager be able to just work around this and just simply lie about their age? Is this law more than just checking a box on some sort of, software interface saying that you're old enough to be on TikTok or whatever?
Yeah, there's a lot of gray zone there, right? Because you're basically letting social media sites figure out how best to enforce their policies. But I think lawmakers at the Capitol behind me really hope that the threat of potentially a lawsuit or penalties from the are going to be enough to force them into compliance. So they're basically putting it on the shoulders of those social media companies to come up with ways to try and ensure that these provisions are enforced. But as you mentioned, you've got parental consent. Who knows what that looks like and how that might operate? We'll have to wait and see how it plays out and whether or not these penalties are enough to really force enforcement from social media companies.
All right, Forrest Saunders live in Tallahassee. Forrest, thank you. Weather time here, Florida's most accurate as we kick off the week on a Monday night. And Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips is here. All right, just gorgeous out there today. And you hope we can string a few of these days together because it's really beautiful.
I think we can. And by the way, Paul, it's worth noting, too, on that new bill, it doesn't go into effect until January 1st. So I know my daughter is literally already texting me, literally right? Just a couple of, Dad, can I? No, you've got till January 1. Too. So there's a look at the radar. Things are pretty quiet across the area. Beautiful day, as Paul mentioned. Temperatures upper 70s to the middle 80s. Very breezy with southeast winds nearly to 25 to 30 miles an hour. Satellite picture. Pretty quiet for the time being. A few clouds at times, but still more sun than clouds. And same setup again tomorrow. Now, Wednesday, I think we have the chance of a few afternoon showers as a front starts to get closer. But I do believe the rain chances will be highest on Thursday. That's when our front comes in, brings us some showers and some cooler air by Good Friday. Tonight, partly cloudy, mild, pleasant. Temperatures only dropping into the 60s.
All right, Dennis, thank you. Well, you know that hot summer weather, it's going to be here before you know it. And tonight, Mary O'Connell is here with a critical shortage that the city of Tampa continues to face. Still to come next at 5:30, the passengers on board that Carnival cruise ship that caught fire for a second time, what they're now revealing about their journey, and now the cruise line is responding to our questions.
7-Day Forecast is sponsored by Kogan and DeSalvo, personal injury lawyers.
Welcome back. We move next here tonight to that cruise turned nightmare on board a Carnival cruise ship this past weekend. Passengers told to stay inside and avoid certain areas after this fire. And all new here tonight, ABC Action News anchor Nadine Yanez is talking to a Bay Area family who tells us their vacation was ruined. Well, don't feel bad. There are no more perfect brackets for this year's March Madness tournament. On Saturday, the NCAA said after just one round, everyone's bracket was busted. ESPN says the biggest upsets, Mississippi State, BYU, and Nevada all losing in the first round. As we bring in Dennis, and I tell you, I was watching the other tournament, the NIT and the Bulls, the USF Bulls, with that heartbreaker last night.
Yeah, against VCU.
You know, it was just, it's, you know, college basketball is different. That momentum swing is
why
huge.
It's called March Madness,
yeah, right?
I mean, yeah. So for our area, you know, we got baseball coming up in 3 days, the home opener for the Rays on Thursday. So the weather, I think, looks pretty nice. It's a great shot there. You got some of that sunlight making it through the clouds, and a lot of folks there still enjoying the beach, as I would expect they would. Nice day, very warm along the coast. We had that east-southeast wind. It's kept the sea breeze just offshore. Not a drop of rain out there. I don't think we see any until, you know, maybe a few isolated showers later Wednesday. Thursday's the day, though. Got a front coming in. It'll bring us some showers and some storms, and then cooler and clearer just in time for the Easter weekend. Upper 70s to low 80s right now, even some middle 80s from Sarasota and over to Bradenton. It's all about the wind. Earlier on, the winds were out of the southeast. Now they're pretty much just due east to west, gusting between 20 and 30 miles an hour. Highs today, we hit 83 in Tampa, 84 in Plant City, 86 in Sarasota and Venice. So averaging about 4 or 5 degrees above average in many spots. And it is still mild, and even though mostly cloudy skies at the airport, 82, the winds gusting to 23. Dew points are rising. Makes a lot of sense. When that air is coming in from the east or the south, there's more moisture there, so we're going to see higher humidity. So again, checking things out right now, there's the high of 83 degrees. That's 4 degrees above average. This morning was exactly where we should be, starting in the lower 60s. Satellite picture, partly cloudy skies this afternoon, mild. Tonight, you're going outside. The winds are still going to be kicking up, maybe a little less breezy than it was earlier on, but still breezy enough, and that'll continue into tomorrow morning. So if getting the kids ready for school, going to work tomorrow, partly cloudy, mild. We start in the middle 60s. And we only go up from there with dry conditions. Partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. I think we go mid-80s again tomorrow, even a little warmer than it was today. Wednesday's when things begin to change. We start with the front. Now, the front itself isn't even going to make it here until Thursday, but there's going to be some rain out ahead of it. And I think that's going to get close enough to part of the area on Wednesday evening that there will be a few showers around. But the bulk of the rain will be on Thursday. Now, as the front gets closer, it's going to get weaker. So I'm not sold, and this isn't going to be like the last go-around where pretty much everybody got rain. This is going to be more scattered, and the better chances will be north of I-4. Not south like last go-around, north of I-4, because as the front pushes south, it'll start to weaken. So by the time we're into Thursday afternoon, most of this rain will be over. If you're heading over to the Rays game, home opener, opening day, there will be some showers around in the early afternoon. Of course, games inside the Trop, but for tailgating and whatnot, you might be dodging some raindrops in the early afternoon. Back behind the front on Good Friday, we clear, we cool with lower humidity. I think we could start upper 40s to low 50s. So kind of cool to start Friday morning, and even I think more so on Saturday morning. But then a beautiful warm up as we're back in the low to middle 80s for the early part of next week. Rain chances highest on Thursday. Then right through Easter Sunday and into early next week, we're looking really, really nice. Southeast winds tomorrow, still a small craft advisory needed. Seas 2 to 4 feet, choppy on the bay and inland waters. Water temperature 73 degrees. Your sunrise 7:27, sunset at 7:45. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, mild. We only drop into the low to mid 60s, maybe upper 50s in Citrus and Hernando County. Nice day at the beach tomorrow, partly sunny, a lot like today with temperatures in the low 80s. Florida's most accurate 7-day. 85 tomorrow, a couple of showers Wednesday, much better chance of rain on Thursday, and the Easter weekend looks awesome with temperatures in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Action News at 5:30 continues after this.
ABC Action News is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
ABC Action News is sponsored by GTE Financial, where banking is instantly easy.
Finally here tonight, the inspirational story out of Carrollwood and the man who swam more than 500 miles in a year. Here's our Sean Daly. Well, congratulations to him. Well, all new next at 6. We do have continuing coverage on the social media ban for teenagers. Our Wendy Ryan tonight talking with a local doctor on what it means. Plus this.
I'm I-Team investigator Adam Walser. A mountain of debris all put at this illegal dump without a permit. The I-Team is looking at how it happened and what comes next.
Post captioning is sponsored by Dimmitt Automotive Group, serving Florida's Gulf Coast for over 100 years.